Okay, good morning. I'm here in my shop. Let me see if I can change the view just a little bit. There. Yeah. I hope everybody's getting a good signal from me. Mm, I got a cat in here, I see. Saw that with the camera. Hey, Greg. Hey, Kevin. Kevin's in here early this morning. Yeah, got you in here bright and early. Got you in here bright and early this morning. I don't know. Let me check this one more light. I may need to turn this light back on. Oh, I don't know if it, the other night it seemed to have put too much light on me. I don't know. That seems to be okay, I think. Hey, Josh. Hey, Ponka. Ponka made it back in. Hey, Philip. Thank you very much, Ponka. Yeah, it is my birthday. Yeah, it's my good old birthday. Of course, I think most of y'all know I keep telling how old I am. I'm the old man of the YouTube channels out here. Hey, comfortable man. Thank you very much. Yes, there is a truck museum, Carolina Freight Museum in Cherryville. Uh, this Cherryville is the hometown of Carolina Freight Carriers, and it's they got a real nice. I was going to do a video of it. It's closed right now because of the coronavirus, but yeah, they got a real nice museum downtown in Cherryville. Well, I've got a tour of it. I've got one, and I'll probably put it up. I was the guy that's the coordinator of the museum. He and I are good friends, and I was up there about a month before that virus, before it got bad. Maybe but the virus, I think, had already hit. But I went up there and took some videos of it, and was going to put up a stream about that, or put up a video about that, since I worked at Carolina Freight for a number of years myself. Hey, Blake, how are you? Yeah, yeah. As I tell people, it's my 39th birthday for the 30th time. So I've got uh, a birthday for the ages. Yeah, yeah. I'm enjoying it today. Yesterday was my son's birthday, uh, and we had a party last night when I got back from the auction. Hey, heavy machinery, Patrick, how are you? Yeah, today is my 39th birthday for the 30th time. So I'm gonna have to get something off my screen now. I got something on my screen, but I'm set up here in my shop now. I've got the high speed access in my shop, or one of my shops. This is my oldest shop. This is my old original shop. I've got another one across the road from me. With but yeah, yeah. I wish I could do like Benjamin Button and go backwards a little bit. Uh, but I'm uh, I'm enjoying life, even though I didn't know if I'd ever make it to 69. I'm 69 years old today, but I'm proud to be 69. My faculties are all with me and everything. Yeah. Well, there's one alternative to not getting older than 66, but you don't want that. Yeah, that's heavy machinery, or Patrick. Uh, yeah, I don't want to say I don't want to get older. I want to continue to get older, because the old saying is, yeah, you don't want those birthdays to keep on. The alternative is pretty tough, so you don't want to do that. But I had a good preliminary birthday yesterday with my son's birthday. Hey, David, how are you? Yeah, 69 is the new 39. Yeah, I've got hey, Jim. How are you this morning? Uh, I've got uh, a pretty bad sunburn. You can't see it on the screen as bad, but I went to a sale yesterday and picked up several items. A good friend of mine had passed away. His son tragically was zero turn lawnmowers, and his dad's place was down on the lake and was very hilly. And he was down there too close to the lake and flipped it over on top of him in the lake, and he drowned. It was one of the big zero turn mowers, and he flipped it right on top of himself, and he drowned before anybody could get to him. It was tragic, and he and I were good friends, and his dad and my dad were good friends, so it goes way back. But yeah, I know that was terrible. But I went to that sale yesterday, and he had been in the 60 years, and he had a salvage yard, and was a rebuilder, a lot like J.C. Smith. If you see J.C. out here, a lot like J.C. and it was something. Well, hey, Daycap, thank you very much. Hey, Chris, how are you? Cows were out. Oh boy, I hope you got them back in. Yeah, I know it. You get some of that, Patrick. That's terrible. I tell you that the old machinery. Most of us like machinery and everything, but you got to be careful with it out there. It can kill you. Actually, they didn't sell the mower. I don't know if they're going to sell it tomorrow. They got the sale's so big they had to extend it over 2 days, and I don't know if they're going to sell that mower tomorrow or not. They had it behind back there. It was a good mower. It's like an Aaron's. I believe it's an Aaron's or something, but it's a big zero. I mean, it's a big one. It's about like my Dixie chopper I got. Yeah, they didn't sell it, but I bought several things from the auction. Very good. I got an acetylene torch, and it had a lot of the accessories, and had the cart, a big heavy duty cart. It wasn't. I guess I should have laid some of that stuff out right here and showed y'all. But I made us do a little video of, and plus he had a great big milling wheel it was antique, it's wooden, that I bought. I bought that for my wife to put it down at the house, and it's huge. It was over 7 foot tall, and it's made out of wood and got the big wooden spokes in it. And it was pretty. And my wife likes a lot of antique. We have a lot of antique farm implements and different things around our back deck area, yard art and different things. So she likes stuff like that. Hey, Trucking OD, how are you? Yeah, I did that, and then I picked up a vise, a real vise, one made in the USA. It came from Cleveland, Ohio. It's got Cleveland, Ohio stamped on it, where it was forged and everything. So made out of real steel, something that when you get a big, I've had some, say a big drive line or something, trying to knock something out in some of these other vices, and you hit it. And I've had one to break in half with me before. So I know that I don't want anything like that. And this one's probably 50, 60-year-old vice. And back when they were really forging and making vices and everything here in the US. Hey, Jeff. Well, thank you very much for the birthday greet and everything. I got a couple of you guys I need to make moderators. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do Trucking OD, and let me get down here and do Jeff. Jeff's on here a good bit. I like adding the different moderators on there. And I know when I look over here and I see all the different blue screens and the blue tools and everything, I know I got good moderators that will keep everything looking good for me here. So yeah, that looks good. But yeah, I'm happy to be happy to be on the top side, not the bottom side, not pushing daisies or anything. Unfortunately, my dad didn't make it this long. My dad passed away when he was 65. So I feel fortunate that I've lived 4 years past what my dad did, and hate I lost him so young and everything. Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, you got we're all. I guess I got fewer years ahead of me than I have behind me. I got a whole bunch 69 behind me and fewer ahead of me, but I'm gonna try to make the best of it. Um, I always try to be positive on that thing, and I like to. Also, your dad's 65, is he, Patrick? Oh, that's good. Well, you're probably younger than my son. My son, his birthday was yesterday. He turned 47 yesterday, and he looks young though for his age. He was for those of you that were on. Yeah, look at my. I'm reddish down here, and I'm white up here where I had my hat on yesterday. You're team driving now, Ponca. So you're not working for the city anymore. You were telling, are you just team driving within the city parameters? Oh, you're only 20 years old, Patrick, or you were only 20 years old when he was 45. I'm not following. Which, yeah, or your dad? Oh, you're 20 years old right now. Okay, yeah. So he was when he was 45. That's when you came about, huh? Yeah, I stopped having children when I was about your age. I was my son was so I'm 22 years older than my son. Yeah, he's just a young buck. Yeah, Patrick's just a young buck. Yeah, my daughter was born when I was 20, and then my son at 22, and so well, I wasn't even quite. I was one day shy of 22 when he was born. I was 21. I was 21 in 364 days. Hey Tim, how are you? Yeah, I don't want to team drive either. Comfortable man. I'm not a team driver. I've done my fair share of it, and I didn't like it anytime I was doing it. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm just I'm if I'm gonna drive a truck, I'm gonna drive a truck. I'm not gonna lay back in a sleeper because I never could fall asleep good and get a good 8 hours sleep, or shoot, I couldn't even get a good 4 or 5 hours sleep. Okay, now you were with FedEx. Now, Comfortable Manor. Now you're in Alabama. I mean Atlanta area, aren't you? Or Alabama? I couldn't remember. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Atlanta area. That's what I was thinking. I got enough runs going into Atlanta. I just don't have any in based in Atlanta. I've got. Uh, oh, you're in Conyers. Okay, yeah, I know where Conyers is. Conyers. Now that's down there where Alan Jackson, the singers, and he down there close to Conyers. I think he is. Okay. So you left the city then, did you, Ponca? You're no longer city. You're not working for the city out there. Alan Jackson, you don't know who Alan Jackson, the country music singer is? Yeah, he's a he lives down there somewhere around Conyers. I would figure you'd know who Alan Jackson is. Yeah, I'm having a. Well, I guess everybody can see it's a real world situation behind me here. That's my this. Like I said, this is my shop, one of my shops up here. I hope the view behind it looks realistic because it is. Yeah, I'm enjoying my birthday up here and trying to enjoy all the stream. And you don't know him, okay? Well, yeah, he's a famous country music singer down there in that area. Let's see, Conyers isn't Conyers on the south west side of Atlanta, sort of. Yeah, that's some good old country boys there. Yeah, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, yeah, Willie Nelson, all those. That's the old George Jones. I'm not related to George. George is he's out of Texas. He's another set of he's a rich set of Joneses, I guess. Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, today is my official birthday. Yeah, my official birthday. So I'm happy that I made it one more year, or as they say, I made it one more year around the sun. Yep. Well, thank you very much, Tim. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. You made another trip around the sun. It takes 365 days for all the revolutions to make one complete trip around the sun. So I've made another trip. I've made 69 trips around the sun, I guess you will say. And I'm getting notifications. Okay. But yeah, yesterday, like I was saying, and for you guys, I can't, it's kind of hard to tell on this screen. It's not showing it as much, but I am burnt. My neck, I think you can probably see it on my neck is the worst part. My neck is sore as everything because I've got the typical farmer's redneck look right now because I'm, of course, I've got the farmer's tan where I'm white and then brown, and my neck is red as it can be, and that sort of stuff. I'm gonna set up in my chair a little bit. Oh, got a little got a little sunk down in the chair here. Easy to do. You get up here and get relaxed and you get sunk down. Yeah, I got sunburned bad. I didn't realize I was that sunburned. I had a hat on, of course. I had a shirt on and everything, and you just sometimes you'll get out there in those crowds and you're standing in the same spot too long. Oh, yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I burn easy. Yeah, like I said, if you can actually see that, I don't know if you can or not on the camera, but yeah, when I turn a little bit to this side, I think you can see my ear and my whole side of the face is a lot redder. If I get over here in this light, you might can tell, and you can tell like that when I pull the shirt to the side. Yeah, I burnt pretty bad yesterday. I'm going back tomorrow for that same sale. They're gonna be selling off all of his cars and trucks, and he's got a lot of old stuff, and I'm gonna go back tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. I keep a farmer's tan year round too, almost. Are you going to take your caddy out cruising? Are you going to get the convertible top down? And oh, I hope I don't do either one. I burn, and I'm trying to. I put some aloe vera uh, stuff on it this morning, and I'm gonna try to keep it from peeling. If I peel, I'm gonna have a funky looking face this next week. That's for sure. Yeah. Now, Tim, now where are you from now exactly? You're not from the U.S., are you? Aren't you overseas? Yeah. Well, Patrick, I got some fairly new trucks. I mean, do you mean the heavy duty? You mean, well, I got the new service truck. The service truck was not brand new, but I got a service truck over here in this other bay. You can't see it from here, but I got a service truck. We bought I bought a uh, '08 Dodge 3500 uh, uh, ton dual wheel service truck, and I'm gonna show that one before long. I'm equipping it right now. Some of the things I went to the sale for yesterday was for that truck. Uh, I bought a like I said, that vise I'm gonna put on the back of it, and I bought some other just a variety of small tools and a few things that I want to add to it. But the vise being one of them, and of course I needed another torch set, so I bought the lane torch, and that came in handy. And what else did I get for it? I got a couple other things for it. I can't think off the top of my mind right now what I got, but especially the vise. I needed a good vise for the back of that truck, and it's got a good heavy duty bumper, so I'm gonna be able to put that on there. Oh, you're from Yonkers, New York. Okay, okay. I couldn't remember. I got some people from overseas, like heavy machinery. Patrick is over in Austria, and I have some others that I have some people from Australia and uh, couple guys from India that were signed on here too, chatting every once in a while. Oh, you hadn't put away your last set of scores yet. It looked like you did pretty good. Looks like you did pretty good on that. Yeah, yeah. I'm a um, uh, I enjoy going to those sales. Now, yesterday's sale, uh, I didn't get into it too hot and heavy. I knew the guy's tools and I knew what to pick from. Oh yeah, I got a lift too. He had a heavy duty motor lift, and I bought it too. Uh, just a hand crank. What I'm gonna do. We've got another one over here in the other shop, and we use it to pick stuff, to crane stuff, and we'll probably use it to do the same thing. And I've got a small crane, manual crane. We're gonna put electric over hydraulic on it, probably to go on this service truck, but it's a small one. It's not a. I don't need a real large extendable, $20,000 crane on this service truck. And these guys actually had one like that on this service truck, and he took that off and then sold me the truck. Uh, he he said he had bought the truck 2 years ago and paid 18 grand for it. And then he took the crane off of it and then sold just the truck. And it sort of benefited me because I didn't need the high dollar crane. I mean, I've got a small crane that I'm gonna put on there, but it's nowhere near. It's not even. It's probably I don't know, 1,500 pound capacity, which is fine for me. I don't need a $10,000 or 10,000 pound crane. I've got one on the other service truck we have, but I don't need another one. No, I don't need a $250,000 service truck with a payment that will choke a goat. At this point in my life, I like, and I don't want to. uh, put a burden on my family or a burden on the business by having so much stuff like that. I can do with a little less like that. I mean, I feel like I got a good truck. I mean, I think it will stand the test of time as much as anything else. It had been overhauled, and I don't mind. It runs really great. It's got a tuner system on it. I mean, it takes off. It runs actually as good, if not better, than my 2012 that I bought brand new. Ag Tech, glad to see you jump in here. No, I haven't shown my service truck yet. I was trying to get it equipped a little bit before I show it off. I'm proud of it. Uh, it's got just the right amount of dings and scratches and everything else to suit me. I mean, it still looks good, and we're going to try to detail it out a little bit, and in the manner that I like, and I won't have that much expense to it in comparison to a lot of things. And there's one thing I like about it. I wrote him a check. I got a title. No payments. It's mine. So that part I really do like. And I like the fact that I don't have to make a payment. And because, like I said, I have plenty of payments. Don't get me wrong. But I don't need an additional one for a service truck. Or equip this one. I take the ideas that what some of these fancy places do, and one of them. Those of you that know Justin, his service truck was built down here in Charlotte, and I know the place it was built, and I can kind of copy the ideas of how they. And that's basically the way. That's basically the way I want to do it. And we got some new lights for it. I got an overhead light that's got the amber and the white light and everything, so we can be safe. We got that, and then I've got and that's one of the things we're doing. We're trying to put a lot of lights on it that make it really safe. I'm looking at notifications. I'm getting a lot of Facebook notifications of my happy birthday, so I'm gonna have to acknowledge them before long too. Oh, so you're in Ontario, are you, David? Okay. We got one from Saskatchewan and then one from Ontario. Both sides of Canada there, haven't we? Yeah, I got it like that. But well, basically, it's like I said, it's not brand new, but it's some really, it's a nice shape. It's if I have this on my permanent camera, I would show some people that. Uh, I guess I could open the other door, crank it up, and back it in this bay. If y'all want to hold on, I'll do that. I'll give you a little tease. What I'll do, let me open the other garage door bay. Talk among yourself, and I'll back it up here in this bay. Oh man. Now I said that I'm gonna have to double check to make sure that not David, the Jim has not got some things setting loose on it. So hold on one second. Well, I'm back. And there is the service truck. Yeah, I like it. It's like I said, it's a heavy duty 3500. It's not four-wheel drive, it's just two-wheel drive. But that's fine for around here. We don't get that much snow. We have one service truck that is four-wheel drive if we need it. And you know, it's set up well. Let me grab a few things. I'll show you some of the things we bought for it. Of course, we like to install things ourselves anyway. And what I was able to do, I've got some clearance lights. Well, actually, they're a little programmed strobing light, LED. I'll see if I can show you that. I've got 4 of these, and we can program these to flash or whatever. And we're going to put them on the front of the box there, so people are seeing us from the front. They can, you know, avoid us. I mean, that's when you get out there and doing service work. That's one of the things you really got to do, is to make sure that people see you, because, you know, you can get run over in a heartbeat. People just don't respect service trucks. I can tell you that. We've been hit a couple times out there doing service work before, so we try to on the wrecker and that. And right here, I've got the factory. It's not a factory Dodge light, but it's a LED light that goes in the factory slot and everything for the Dodge. I paid a little extra for that because it hits the mounts perfect that are already in the front of the Dodge. So that will look factory looking when it's in there. And it's LED, which I like that also. So that'll help us on the foggy nights. I mean, that's a lot of that you have to gear up for. And then, like I was saying, and I have devices back here. I stuck it on the back of the truck. Oh, I'll keep talking. So hopefully you'll hear me. Oh, boy, this thing's heavy. Woo. Oh. This is a heavy vise. I'm going to show it to you from here, guys. Oh, God. This thing. Oh, Lordy. Set it down in my chair if I don't. But it is it's made in Cleveland, Ohio. I can't see the name on it. But as you can tell, that's a good. Whew, thing feels like it weighs 50 pounds. Probably does. Yeah, it's got a good motion to it and everything. I checked that out. The gears in it's good. I've had some of the vices before I bought at sales where somebody had stripped a gear, but you know, this shop sale was good because of the fact that you know, because both the son and the father died. You know, nobody was trying to cull stuff back. So it was, they were selling all of their good equipment and their cheaper equipment too. Yeah. Now we're going to do something similar to that on this, Blake. We've got that on our other ones. It's, you know, you put the reel inside and then plumb it up to the compressor. And we're going to do the same thing on this truck. We're putting we have found that to be true on a lot of our service vehicles and everything, and wreckers and stuff. So we try to plumb it really good. Oh me, yeah, yeah. We're gonna make this heavier, that's for sure. Because but this one is built stout because this one had the I don't know what the suspension rating is on it, but it sets up really good because uh, that crane being on the back of it. I would imagine they had to beef up. The leaf springs are pretty heavy on it, so and it's stiff. It's a stiff riding truck. It's not a luxury riding truck. I mean, it rides good, but it you can it's stiff too. Yeah, but yeah, that's what we'll do the same thing on this, like Justin had on his, and that's basically what we do. We'll copy some of these new ideas that people have put on these service trucks and try to do it. We got toolboxes on both sides. Uh, it's not the ultra fancy toolboxes. Actually, they had done it on this side, so I copied what they had on the other side, and we've already got it in. We they had put a Husky toolbox that fit perfect in this side over here. So I said, well, let me just find the same Husky box and I'll put it on the other side. Yeah, yeah, I like these 3500s. My uh, pickup is a 35. I have a 3500 2012 that I bought new, uh, and it's got and this has got the 6.7 Cummins diesel in it. I guess y'all heard that when uh, I guess y'all heard that when I cranked up and backed in, that it was the Cummins diesel. Now it has a couple 100,000 on it, but it had been overhauled, and uh, I'm I'm happy with it. It runs out tight. The gentleman that had it before me said he did about $2,000 work to the front end on this truck and on the suspension, and it hits the road good. It's tight. There's no wobble to it or anything like that. Oh yeah, I think I will too. Like I said, Larry has my mechanic. Uh, uh, he has a Dodge. He has a 2016 Dodge 4-wheel drive and 3500 and everything has that same engine. And I've got that in my 2012, and I like it a lot. So yeah, this is a 2008. Like I said, this is a 2008, and I think I like it fine. I think I like it fine. We've got a Ford service truck. I'm gonna send that down to Savannah, Georgia. That was my whole purpose of getting another service truck. I was at this sale. They had an older service truck, and I was going to buy that and send it to Savannah. But when I found this one, I said, well, we'll keep this one because we can use the heavier suspension up here a lot better than we could in Savannah. So I'll turn around and rebuild this one the way I've got the Ford. I've got the on the front of the truck, and I'm gonna put it in front and rear. We have it so we can plug in. We got a quick disconnect for jumper cables, so I don't have to raise the hood or anything. We just plug right in. Like a lot of people have them on winches and everything else like that. And we're going to put several receiver hitches on the back, and I'll have to show you once I do the full tour of it. Jimmy has got a couple of spring hangers, uh, older spring hangers that we had, and we used some of the supplies and some of uh, the old parts and pieces that we have sitting around here. And he took a step that would come off one of our tractor trailer trucks and put a step on those spring hangers, drilled holes in the back of the steel bumper, and now we got a retractable uh, step. Cost us nothing other than a little bit of labor, and I like it. And these steps are a couple $100 sometimes to have those retractable steps and everything. And we take advantage of magnets and a few other things. The light, I've got the strobe light that I've got to go on the top side. It's got 6 great big magnets. We just set that down, and boy, it clamps on good, and then it strobes really good. So when we're out at night, we're going to have all the different strobing lights all around this truck, so we can flip the switches, have it lit up like daylight. I got a big light bar. I got a light bar that's going to go all the way across the top too, a 54-inch light bar. So that's part of the thing. So we're excited about getting it fixed. Well, it's very similar. That's what it's like, a forklift connector. When I talk about these connectors, it's what it is. It's like a square connector, and you just push it in and pull it out. And very similar to what you're talking about, Chris, is like a forklift connector. And a lot of guys use them for winches and a few things like that, or forklifts. And that way you can just unplug it real quick, and then you don't have to worry about the a hard connection. Hey, Oilfield Dave. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm trying to, and like I said, equip it so wherever we're at, that we can, you know we'll have the equipment on hand, and plus inverters. We got a big inverter we're putting in it also, and that in itself is going to enhance what we do, because we want to charge everything, or have things charged. We got the Milwaukee tools. I'm getting ready to buy another one of those 1,400 foot pound tools from Milwaukee, so I can my impact, so I can take the uh, things off with it. I'm gonna get another half inch. You can't beat that half inch for taking off stuff. I mean, you can take a lug off of a tractor trailer truck. And no, I don't have a shop in Savannah. Now that's the reason we're taking this other well-equipped service truck down there. We're allowed to park it on the lot down there, secured lot at FedEx, as a driving vehicle. It has to be one that's tagged and drivable and everything. But then that way I have two guys down there that can do the minor things, and that's the whole purpose of that. I mean, I have a lot of times I have light bulbs, or just small items that will actually take a truck down. You'll have to pull that truck out of service until you fix it. And I have guys down there that are they're not full-time mechanics, but they're good mechanical minded drivers, and I'm moving them over to a sort of driver slash mechanic status, and where they'll drive some, they'll work on trucks some, and wash the trucks down there, and things like that. And that's what we're going to be doing in Savannah with that newer service truck. Yeah, if I can get, I haven't seen the 1 inch extended. Have you seen one of those yet? I have not, because the other 1 inch is 1,800 foot pounds, and yeah, I'd like to have something like that. If it had the about a 6 or 8 inch or 10 inch, I don't know what size anvil that is on my regular air guns. I think they're about, I don't know, 7, 8 inches, something like that. Uh, but if a person had that, it'd be nice. Yeah, I've not seen one in person, or have I been able to use one of the 1 inch with the longer anvil. And they had the 1 inch, and they still have the 1 inch, and they're 1,800 foot pounds. And I'm hoping that they'll get that extended one, and at least come close to 1,800 foot pounds. Probably will drop it some by putting that longer anvil on. Yeah, now torque multiplier would, is always good too. I mean, when you get into a situation, when you can't, I think you can get one, 1 inch torque multiplier, and then you can just crank away. They're just a little bit aggravating, but they do, they'll loosen a nut up, and then if you got that and a good impact, then you can pull them off and pull a tire off, and work out pretty good. But we're going to have air too on the truck, so we're going to have our air wrenches on there too. So it's a situation that it's good to have a little bit of both. Yeah. Well, I it you know I'm not doing service work for anybody else other than myself. And yeah, I got an Ingersoll Rand's what I've got. I've got I've got, I think it's 13 horsepower Honda motor on the Ingersoll Rand compressors. That's what I usually have. I've got I've got probably 4 or 5 of those. I got one spare one over in the other shop, and I've got one on this Ford down here. But believe it or not, I bought it brand new. Didn't mess with it I just left it in my shop for probably 6 or 8 months because I didn't have a space for it. Went to put it in a new service truck, or the other service truck. Went to fire it up and wouldn't fire. The coil went bad on it, so I got to put a new coil on it. Yeah, well, I know it. That's the thing about it. You don't want to wait for batteries to charge up. And I like air. I mean, air. Of course, you can't. You got to have air to air up a tire if you have a tire to go down. And we got the cheetah tank. I don't think I have that. Of course, y'all know what I'm talking about with the cheetah tank, where you just pop it down. You air it up, then you pop it down and give it a big burst of air and blows the tire up. We use it all the time here in the shop, and we have a couple of those tanks, and we'll have one of those, probably 2 that we put on the service truck and keep on the service truck because there's nothing worse than being out there and you can't air up a tire. And you don't want to use, I mean, some people say, well, you can use ether, but that's dangerous. I'd much rather have the cheetah, cheetah air tank, and then you just pull that valve and big burst of air, and then you got that tire inflated. Well, thank you, North Carolina trucker. Yeah, I'm today is my birthday, uh, June 28th. That's my birthday. I was born 1951. 1951. Yeah, it's that's a while back. That's a while back. That's for here we are in 2020. I would have never thought that, you know, it doesn't seem like it's that long once you live it. It's hard to fathom that I've lived that many years and that it's gone by so quickly. That's the thing that's scary. I used to hear my dad talk about that. Man, it just the last few years flown by, but they really will. They really will. Oh, so your dad had a earth moving and trucking company. So you're bringing his collection back around, then, are you, Patrick? Well, that's good. Well, thank you, Ag Tech. Yeah, yeah. Today is my birthday. I keep waiting to see what came in the mail or UPS or. But like I tell most people, I've got pretty much what I like. I mean, I can't complain. I've had a good life as far as things go. I've not been deprived of many things. uh, I'm happy in my life. That's a good thing. I mean, I've been able to obtain uh, a good bit of things, earthly things, I guess. But the main thing is you want to have a good family, and have yourself right. And I'm that way too. I've got the best family anybody could want. My son and daughter both are just wonderful people. So I am blessed, and my grandson too. I got a 15-year-old grandson, and I'm very, very blessed. Yeah, yeah. I hold it as best I can. And I try to. I enjoy doing things like this, and I enjoy technical things. See, I'm an old high tech redneck. Love things technical. I've had computers for 40 years, and I say 40 because I started back in the 70s. It's when I got our first computer for my son. A lot of people that heard him talk last week. He was talking about that, and my son, I got it for a challenge because my wife and I we were walking through Sears one day and we saw that pong game, these back and forth paddle. That's all it was. I mean, and it was high tech for back then. And my wife said, "Well, maybe we ought to get that." I said, "Honey," I said, "they will get bored with that real quick." I said, "Let's get something else." And I'd already seen it. Radio Shack had the small color computers, and you could hook it up to a TV set, and I knew that they could do something with it. So I convinced her to spend more money than what that little game was, and get something that my son and daughter could grow with. And that's what we did. And it really worked out great for us. And my son, of course, went on to college and became a computer engineer. I mean, we got this when he was really young. I think he was 5 or 6 years old when we got this, or 4 or 5 years old. And he learned to programmed so good that he actually won a national contest when he was like second or third grade. I can't remember exactly, for actually programming. Won a contest and was published in a national magazine, the Tandy Color Computer Magazine. And that tickled me to death, just to see that he got published on that, and his program worked and that sort of stuff. He won a few small prizes, nothing to write home about, but that sort of stuff. And I'm real happy that he was able to do that. And you're proud of your children, every accomplishment, whether it's they make a home run in baseball, or if they whatever they do. If you're any kind of person at all, you're going to be proud of your children's accomplishments, and that's been the joy of my life. My 2 children have been the joy of my life, that's for sure. So I'm a family man. Also, you want to start your own heavy equipment business, repair business, Patrick? Well, that's good. If you're okay, excuse me. If you're just 20 years old, then that's perfect time to do things like that. I think it's wonderful if you can. Well, Jim, I'm glad you said happy birthday to me also. I'm trying to acknowledge everybody that's saying happy birthday to me. Oh, okay. Well, maybe, if it came, Blake, if I see you're saying about, if you send it FedEx, one of my trucks probably will touch it because see, if you're from Columbus, yeah. Actually, I got 2 trucks that meet Columbus drivers that go down to Beckley, West Virginia. So I got 2 runs that go into Beckley, West Virginia. So it's very likely that it's done that. I'll tell you a quick story. My wife, this is something, she went on overstock.com and found a rug that she wanted to have at our place at Hilton Head. So she gets on, types in overstock.com. She didn't know where their headquarters were or wherever their warehouse was. So she types that in, orders from overstock.com, and we tracked it. Well, it tracked from Savannah, Georgia to Atlanta. All right. I have a truck that goes from Savannah to Atlanta. It was on one of my trucks. Then we tracked it from Atlanta to Charlotte. I have trucks that go that direction, and it was on one of my trucks that direction. Then it was moved from Charlotte, the Smart Post, over from Concord over back. Well, I said Charlotte a while ago. They went from there to Concord, and then it was moved from Concord on over back over to Charlotte again with one of my trucks. And then it got away from my trucks and it was delivered through home delivery back over to us. And here's the ironic part about it was the rug that she bought, we took it back to near Savannah, Georgia, down to Hilton Head at our condo. And that's where it was going. But it went around the circles, touched 3 of my trucks, I think it was, because we actually tracked it. And we knew where what was going on, the times and everything. We knew it was our trucks. and then we end up taking it from Cherryville down to Hilton Head, which is 20 miles from Savannah, Georgia. So it went completely around the circle. Had we had an opportunity to go straight over to Overstock, wherever their warehouse was, we could have picked it up and saved all that. And Barbara said, "Well, we could have saved all that." I said, "No, no, no, that's fine. I'm fine with it. I got paid for freight going to Atlanta. I got paid from freight going from Atlanta to Concord. I got paid from Concord to Charlotte. I'm happy with it." In reality, the money changed hands. I probably got that rug for almost free. So it was, it's sort of funny that happened. And we've done some other things. She orders a lot from Belk's department store, and they have a warehouse in Jonesville, South Carolina. And then they'll ship stuff from Jonesville down to Atlanta and then back up. And then we've tracked things like that too, that have actually come back to us from what she ordered, and came through FedEx ground. So I said, that's fine. Keep ordering, keep the trucks rolling. So you do your small part. And that's what she says. She says, I'm just trying to keep our trucks rolling. That's why she shops. So she's shopping away, keeping the trucks rolling and everything. Yeah. Now USPS, now not as much as we used to. We used to have a thing with the Smart Post. Now you'll still get some, but they kind of broken away. Fred Smith wrote the Postal Service a huge check a few years ago, like $5 billion, way up there. I forgot what it was, and bought the rights to be able to put the FedEx boxes in the Postal Service, and and then we have the relationship on what they call Smart Post that goes from FedEx to the Postal Service, and then the Postal Service does the final mile, as they call it. So we do that. No, you can't beat that, Blake. It's really it's funny how that can happen, but it's realistically that's the way the world turns. I mean, people ask me all the time, so what do y'all ship with FedEx? I said, well, we get all these packages that come from China on the West Coast, and we ship them to the East Coast. And I said, then we get all these packages that come from China on the East Coast, and we ship them to the West Coast. And that's what, and it's sort of an overplay. It's sort of an overstatement, but it's not a really inaccurate statement, because we have all seen the effects of China and how much we are dependent on that. China and Taiwan and Vietnam and all the different, the Eastern countries, or Western, I don't know which way you call that. Anyway, halfway around the globe. But we're all dependent on the Oriental influence, you might say, with Korea, China, Japan. And, it used to be Japan was the leader on that, and not so much anymore. Nowadays, it seems to be China. And we have seen through all this stuff that we have actually relied too much. And hopefully we will bring some of that back. We've got to bring essentials back to the U.S. I mean, I would love, like this vise that I bought, made in the USA, Cleveland, Ohio. I mean, you think about all those steel mills up there in the Ohio and the Pittsburgh area and everything. You hate to have seen all those go away. And we as a nation let that go away. I mean, we basically just gave away those industries. There's only one or two steel mills in the United States right now, Nucor being one. My son, his company actually builds equipment for Nucor. But once we get the supply chain out of balance the way we have right now, you can see how much trouble that's causing. Well, hey, Dirt Boss, glad to see you in here. Yeah, I've been showing off my new to me service truck. Got me a a Dodge 3500 '08. Uh, got the 6.7 Cummins diesel in it, and got some miles on it, but it's been overhauled, and we're trying to get in here and get it fixed up. Dirt Boss, you've been busy. I like seeing your Dirt Boss. For you guys that want to see a good channel, go check out Dirt Boss. I mean, he's got a great channel, and a hardworking young man, and uh, uh, so I like to promote. Blake's got a good channel. Blake is also in the dump truck business, and then Chris at Outcast Projects. Uh, Check him out. Chris is into everything. Chris is a good old boy from Tennessee that moved to Kansas, and he is making his new life out there in Kansas, and got his farm, got his rental houses. He's into everything. He does auctions. He's a wheeler dealer. So great. I mean, I'm telling. I don't watch TV anymore. I watch more YouTube than I watch TV because I get frustrated with regular TV. But to see all you guys out there, and I love all the channels. It feels good to me, and to see how everybody does different things. Dirt Boss, I watch him get stopped by the DMV, and boy, did that bring back the nightmares and memories right there. And you get stopped and get put down on things that you shouldn't. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know, Walter. Yeah, we're talking about that. We're talking about that vice. I mean, that uh, it's a lot better to when that's why I love those old auctions, and you can find something on these older shops. When I see a older established shop that has an auction, I love to go to those because generally speaking, you can get some really good older equipment tools that are going to last the rest of your life. It probably lasted all of that guy's life, and it'll last the rest of your life too. And uh, that's what I love to buy. I mean, because the quality of that, and when you see the quality, and you clean it up and look that stuff over. I mean, I know you guys have been like me. I these vices especially. You get these ones, and you go out and you get them. They're made in China. I don't know what metal they're smelting with, or their foundries have got, but boy, it is not the quality of the steel mills that like this one. Like I said, it's built in Cleveland, Ohio. Well, you know that Cleveland and Pittsburgh and all those, boy, they had the epitome of the great steel mills, and they put the product out. And for us to have lost that, and the young guys, you probably don't get this remembered as much as I do, but I mean, it was a world of difference. Yeah, I know regular TV does suck. I don't want to see a commercial every, you know, everything's put together in these little blips, and then there's a commercial. I mean, that's like us this morning. I don't have a TV show. I just got I'm broadcasting to a lot of good friends out here, and but we're not sticking commercials in here, and it's a live stream, and we can get information to each other and that sort of stuff. And I like that. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are putting out some really good information. Now there's a lot of junk. There's a lot of people are just trying to get rich off of YouTube, and you can usually tell that by how they stage it, and they try to make their own reality show. I don't try to make a reality show. I actually just show reality. In other words, if I make a mistake showing you something, you're going to see my mistake. If we're out here just talking about things, you're hear exactly what I think. You're going to hear what I'm talking about. It's normal, and that's the way I want to, come off. I don't want to come off as too glitzy or whatever. I'm not that guy. An old German-made Gerdauer. and Hazlitt tool. Yeah. Now see, we don't have the Gerador. Is it no? With me, Gedor, I guess, or Gedor. I don't know how that's pronounced. We don't have those tools much over here. I hear that that's an older brand like Snap-on and Mac and Stanley and some of the others we've had around here forever. But yeah, and you know I mean that's like Craftsman. If you can find old Craftsman, then you know you've got a pretty good tool. Today, unfortunately, you get the import Craftsman now. So that has been shipped overseas and repurposed, or not repurposed, rebranded it off of a Chinese, or I don't even know where they come from now. I think they're China too. Yeah. Yeah. Anytime an end frame is in the frame, still in, you know, or you pull a motor out, it's out of the frame. But yeah, most people like doing an end frame because of the fact that, you know, it's easier on, you know, pulling things out, and you don't have to worry about taking every single thing off. And most of the times you're just pulling your heads and pulling the sleeves and, you know, putting that sort of stuff back in. Yeah, that's yeah, I guess there is. I had hold on a second. Yeah, of course, I guess everything's metric that way too, wouldn't it be? Heavy machine, Patrick. I guess that's you know, they're on the metric system, so they wouldn't have any SAE tools. And we over here we have to have SAE and the metric. A lot of things are metric, but you get in the older trucks, you'll still find the SAE brands are still out here. I mean, that's still prevalent on some things, but we've almost, as a mechanical side, we've almost gone more metric. Now everything is still miles per hour and things, yards and inches and stuff like that. You don't find much of the carpentry industry switching over yet. But as far as the mechanical, yeah, a lot of the mechanical has switched over to metric. So as a shop, we have to have both the metric and the SAE. But metric is kind of taken over with everything because of I think of all the imported parts that we're coming up with and everything else. But you'll still see, you know, both on even the heavy equipment. Oh, am I saying that right? Gador is that how they? I had to think about my German. Like I said, I go ein, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben, acht, neun. Yeah, that's I'm counting to, well, I didn't make it to 10, but I'm counting to 9 there, I guess you might say. My dad was I've told this in the past. He was an interpreter in the 82nd Airborne. He was a German interpreter because they had to have guys that study the German dialect and so they could kind of communicate. And he was sort of a communication specialist in that, with the fact that, you know, when they dropped them behind enemy lines and everything else, you needed to be able to, pick up on different communications through radio signals and everything else. So my dad actually learned to do that, and in the 82nd Airborne. And he always liked the German language. And when he came back, I actually, as a young boy, I took some, back then they had their own records. We had to it was learn a language records. And my brother and I, that's just older than me, we both tried to learn as much German as we could. I got to learn a little bit, not very fluent. I know a few things, and the good thing about it is I studied it enough as I was young that I can disseminate some of that information back and forth and pick up on it probably better than some people can. But I I can't speak the language. I wish I could. It would be great. Oh, back in the day, it used to be SAE and I would guess it was because it was probably, you know, imports or exports coming from America were getting overseas into Germany and Austria, and you would have a little, like I said, mishmash of different ones. Now, I don't know what you're saying, comfortable man. Hey, Zeke, how are you? Oh, thank you for the birthday wish. Yeah. Yeah, I'm out here celebrating with all you guys, enjoying it too. And I hope y'all enjoy coming on to our chat on Sunday mornings and getting a chat amongst each other and seeing what I've been doing for the week. It's not all about me. I enjoyed this chatting and talking with all the different guys that jump in here. Yeah, Guten Tag. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, I got that. Yeah, yeah, I go Octilibon. uh, and then yeah, I enjoy that. You know, you find out a lot about how diverse the world is in the United States and all the different countries, Austria and Germany and Australia and all kind of different places that we are able to uh, connect with, which I think is fantastic. Oh wow, you're out to Amarillo. Well, you can sing that George Strait song, can't you? Amarillo by morning. Well, hey Patrick, thank you for the birthday. Another Patrick in here. I got two Patricks in here now. Well, I'll see Mac and Matco is a broke off from Mac, so that's it. It is a lot like Mac. I think they use some of the same plants when they were building theirs, and then they've got some imports too. Well, I don't know if I'll get a steak or not. I think we're for lunch, Chris. I'm getting some grilled chicken. My wife wants me. She wants me to stick around, so she's not going to feed me steak every day. Yeah. I need to, Kevin. I need to get you back up here in North Carolina or Georgia one. I'd love to have you as a driver. Kevin is a hustler. I mean, uh, you know, I've got a few drivers like Kevin that work like that, and you know, but I love seeing a hardworking man like that, and Kevin Lamar is one hardworking man. I mean, I mean, you can't be in all those places if you're not really trucking. That's for sure. I mean, he checks in from coast to coast, and I like his dedication. So yeah, we're definitely we definitely have some good hardworking men, I think, in this channel, and I really like it. That's why I love my channel. Oh, so you do have some tool trucks over there, do you, Patrick? Okay, yeah. You know, it's a, changing world on that, and you know um, yeah. Well, I'm of the age now that I don't miss driving like I used to. I used to be when I was young. Man, I mean, they gave me an opportunity to uh, get out and drive. I was, boy, I was the first one out the door. I loved it. I mean, when I was any, from the time I was able to drive my first tractor trailer truck. I mean, I started as a teenager as a yard switcher. I mean, I think I've told much. I was a yard switcher for a number of years, and then when I got 21, I was able to get my chauffeur's license. Back then, it was just chauffeur's license. It wasn't It wasn't CDLs like they got. The CDLs didn't come about until I want to say 87, 87, 88, something like that. They mandated the CDLs. And then we had a nationwide driver's license, basically. It could be issued in any state, but it was a nationwide driver's license. And that's what they tried to get away from, is because now I got my raccoon look. You can see where my glasses was, and I definitely have my raccoon look because of the sunburn yesterday. Yeah, the Amazon and all the online stuff, it does. It hurts. It hurts even my store too, like Napa. Uh, the thing that both entities try to give you is service. If you've got a good Mac Tool guy or Snap-on guy that will actually service your shop and come by and help you, then it's worth the extra money, and you're getting a quality product too. And they got product that they stand behind, so that's not bad. And you know, once you make that investment in the tools, and I'm more into the tool part than I am the toolbox. I see so many people, and I know the toolboxes are great, but to me, it's still a filing cabinet, and I cannot justify these $20,000 and $30,000 toolboxes that so many people are buying. I mean, I my favorite one to buy is Husky because I can buy them so relatively cheap, and I don't have an arm and a leg tied up in them then, and I probably have 25 between the two shops. I probably have 25 Husky boxes, and I even use them as, like you said, filing cabinets. I have parts in some of them. I have the one whole section over at the other shop that I converted some of the desktop style, and I went in there and changed the tops of them and bolted them together, put more rigidity in it and everything, and then double layered the tops so it'd have the rigidity for that. And I've got a great shelving system and bolt system over there. And I've got probably 10 Husky boxes that I have nothing but bolts and screws and stuff like that in all the way down one wall. Makes it a lot easier. And then I buy in bulk a lot of times, and I buy at sales a lot of times. I've gone to several auctions and bought out, entire big bolt bins and everything else, and come out pretty good like that. Yeah, now some of those third party things you get on Amazon, or you do have to watch that. The warranty is not as good sometimes. Yeah, and buying from your local hardware store is good too. I mean, if you've got a rapport with them, and then you can get a good quality. Uh, that's what it's all about. Well, I mean, Amazon is a beast out there. They're a behemoth, and I'm scared of where that's going with Amazon. Not only are we going to we have to watch these companies. We are really in a crossroads in the U.S. by having so many of these tech companies uh, control too many things. Facebook, Google, Amazon, all of these tech companies like that are controlling the marketplace way more than they should be able to have that much control over. And we let Amazon grow. They had all these tax benefits and everything else, and got all these incentives, and we let that company grow to a behemoth. And it is an Amazon. It's like and that was his purpose of naming it Amazon. He wanted to be the one-stop shop place. I mean, it went in as an innocent type thing, as a bookseller, and then it migrated into everything. And now I don't know how you rein some of that back in. I mean, they're into Amazon is big into servers and everything uh, you know for things off of, the internet. They're big in the internet and then the pipeline. So a lot of that stuff is really, really, it's something else. It is something else. Well, guys, the old voice is wearing out. I'm getting a little bit hoarse and everything. I really enjoyed this morning, and it's been a very good birthday present for me to be able to have so many people in here at one time. I had about 25 or 30 in at one time, and I appreciate that. But the old voice box is telling me I better give it up right now, and I'm gonna have to run too. So y'all take care. I've really enjoyed it. Been a very good birthday conversing with everybody. I hope I've acknowledged everybody, and y'all have a good rest of the day. And I'll be waiting on the packages tomorrow. That I know all of y'all are going to be sending me something. So just kidding. See you out there, guys, and y'all take care.